The question stem here is asking us to express the conclusion drawn in the argument. That means you don't really have to, go into any kind of analysis about whether or not you agree with the argument, why the premises support or don't support the conclusion or anything. Just identify the conclusion. Identify the conclusion, then paraphrase it. So this is, in our logical reasoning lessons, this is the first type of logical reasoning question we teach you how to deal with, because it's very, very important to be able to separate context, other people's argument, from the author's argument, and then within our author's argument, to then separate out the premises from the conclusions. Let's read. Novel X and Y are both semi-autobiographical novels and contain very many similar themes and situations which might lead one to suspect plagiarism on part of one of the authors. However, and this is the key word, however, but, although, these words indicate a turn of phrase. They indicate that stuff that just happened, that just talked about, is just merely context, because it's a setup. Because, think about psychologically what this word does to the reader. It says, now you need to pay attention, right? Blah, 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 blah. I tell you all this stuff. Now pay attention to me. It is more likely that the similarity of themes and situations in the two novels are merely coincidental. That sounds like the conclusion. It's very common, not always, but it's very common in the case that right after the however, they'll say something like, but that is wrong. However, that is wrong. Right? And if they said that, then it just adds an additional layer. That is wrong is what we call referential phrasing. What do you mean that is wrong? What's that? Then you have to refer back to the stuff they talked about to figure out what that means. But anyway, here they didn't do that. They just said it's more likely actually that the similarity is just coincidental as opposed to plagiarism. Since is from our grammar lessons introduces premises, why should I believe this conclusion? Why should I believe that it's merely coincidental and not plagiarism? Right? Oh, well, here's why you should be persuaded, because both authors are from similar backgrounds that led similar lives. That's it. So at this point, it becomes very, very straightforward. You just get what we say, you get tunnel vision. You kind of just don't look at any of this stuff. You focus in just on the stuff you bracketed as the conclusion, which is just this: that the similarities is coincidental, not plagiarism, or likely coincidental and not plagiarism. Okay, let's read. X and Y both autobiographical contain, yeah, sure, that's context. The fact that X and Y are both biographical contain similars lead one to, but that's just the context. The author of X and Y have similar backgrounds, but that's the premise. It is likely that one of the authors, or rather I should say less likely, that one of the authors is guilty of plagiarism than that it's just merely coincidental. There you go. It's more likely it's coincidental than plagiarism. If authors X and Y are from similar backgrounds, similar suspicion that, yeah, okay, whatever, are unwarranted. Yeah, sure, I mean, maybe. Yeah, you can agree with this statement, but it doesn't matter you agree with the statement. Our task here is to paraphrase the conclusion, paraphrase this statement, which D does.